I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be when she brings up marriage first. What do you do? How do you know when it's right time for you to get married, especially when you got lots of friends and family, or she's got lots of girlfriends and family of hers that are getting married? Because I remember back when I was in my, I'd say usually it's around the time of your early to mid-20s. You got a lot of friends. It's like everybody's getting married, and everybody's going to each other's weddings, and there's a lot of pressure from your peers, especially other married people, because people that are married know you, they want you to get married. And people that are single, they want you to stay single. People that are engaged, they want you to get engaged. And the really hard thing is there's a lot of pressure in society to go ahead and get married. And so I've got an email here from a guy who's in that situation, because if you follow what I teach, what'll happen is the woman will bring up when she wants to get serious, when she wants to be exclusive, and she'll also bring up when she wants to get married, as opposed to the guy bringing up. Because if you're bringing it up and the woman's hasn't brought it up already, then it means it's too soon. It means that she's not ready for it. And a lot of guys make the mistake of trying to force a woman into getting married before she's ready, because they don't pay attention. They're only paying attention to their own feelings and their own desires, and just assuming that, hey, since she's with you, that she naturally feels the same way. And so he says, "Hello, Coach. I hope all is well with you. Your videos have helped me stay on my path of competitive judo and boxing competition, both mentally and physically. I've got a more serious question for you. My girlfriend wants to get married. She caught me off guard with this because it was unexpected after 8 months of dating, but I discussed it with her because I believe marriage is a serious business." Absolutely, but obviously congratulations to you for doing everything right, because the bottom line is you did everything right, your girlfriend's fallen in love with you, and now she wants to nest and she wants to get married. And this is what will happen. If you do everything right and you do the things I teach, women will be basically proposing to you, which is what your girlfriend has done at this point. He says, after listening to her talk about why she wanted to get married, great question. The quality of your relationship is in direct proportion to the quality of the questions that you ask. And so you were asking good quality questions like, why is it that you want to get married, or you feel that we should get married now? Very smart way to go about it. He says, I came to the conclusion that she wants to keep up with her friends and coworkers who seem to be tying themselves down left and right. Also, it seems like she wants the security of marriage, knowing that she has someone with her. I told her that neither one of us is ready to get married, and at this point in time, we should continue our relationship as is. While she's a great girl, she has some self-esteem issues as well, and also parents who are not particularly fond of interracial marriage. I'm black and she's white. He says, at this point, the drama would not be worth it if neither one of us is ready. She's a little older than I am. She's 29 and I'm 26. How did I know that was going to come? It's like, it's always around the age that you guys are both at that everybody is pressuring her. Especially her being 29, her little biological clock is kicking in, and she's probably got plenty of her girlfriends that are having kids, and so she's thinking about having kids. He said, so I understand where the concept of marriage, married life, and security comes in. However, I want to enter marriage for the right reasons, not just because it's cute. Very smart, because I got married in my mid-20s because my heart was telling me absolutely fucking not, but my head and all of my friends and all the women I knew, women I worked with, girlfriends that I had, these are girlfriends, not women I had dated. It's like, so everybody gives you a lot of pressure. Oh, you're stupid if you let this girl get away. It's the kind of bullshit that they tell you. The only person that can know when it's right for you to get married is you. It's what your heart communicates inside. It's a feeling that you get. And you know in your heart of hearts that it's right, and you don't even think about it. It's like, of course, let's get married. You're both on the same page. You're going to be both thinking the same thing. And obviously your heart is communicating that you're just simply not ready to get married. He says, I'm just wondering why people try so hard to keep up with their friends in something as serious as marriage, because it's what everybody does. It's what you see in all the movies. It's what you see in TV. And what happens is if you're not married and you got all your friends around you that are getting married, they pretty much act like, oh, there's something wrong with you if you don't get married and want to have a family like the rest of us. I mean, you figure the divorce rate's over 50%. And like I know from high school, like all those friends of mine, they got married around the same time I did. More than half of them have gotten divorced. Some of them have gotten divorced and remarried several times since then, because they still know most people don't spend any time. It's like they'll spend more time researching a car that they're going to buy or a house that they're going to buy, as opposed to picking somebody to get married and start a family with. He says, maybe I'm just confused, but do people see marriage and families as accessories? I.e., I have a house, nice car, oh, and I have a husband. Just wondering on what your input is in this situation. Well, take it from a guy who got married once before he was ready. You must listen to your heart and your intuition on this. And this is not something that someone else can tell you. You can't listen to what mentally you think is the right thing to do. You have to trust your heart and you have to trust your feelings. And if your heart and your feelings and your intuition are not saying, absolutely, I want to marry this girl, then you need to just say, hey, I'm not ready yet. I love you, I adore you, but I'm not ready to get married. And plus, we got a lot of pressure from your family because they don't like the fact that I'm black and you're white. I mean, obviously that's a real issue, and that's something you got to consider. I mean, if you're gonna continue going forward and say you have kids down the road, do you want the parents snickering at your kids? Do you want the parents interfering in a relationship? Because it might come to it where she has to tell her parents, like, hey, if you don't support who I'm marrying, then I guess we're just simply not going to have a relationship anymore. Those are real issues that you guys have to discuss because you're in an interracial relationship. And obviously, you're simply not ready yet. And just tell her you love her and you appreciate and you're honored by the fact that she's ready to get married to you. But just say, hey, I'm just simply not ready yet. And I just think things are great between us, and I want to continue on with where things are at. And you got to stand up for yourself. You can't go and get married when your heart is telling you to just keep things the way they are. It's only been 8 months after all. And you really, in my opinion, you need to date for 2 to 3 years at least. And if 2 or 3 years down the road and you're both absolutely, without a doubt, want to get married, want to stay together, and you definitely committed to being married and having a family together, and you want kids, you want the same number of kids, you have the same core values are aligned, then go ahead and do it. But if you're not feeling it, don't do it, because it's not fun getting a divorce. Even though I was only married for a year at the time, getting a divorce was a real fucking pain in the ass, and it cost a lot of money, and it was a lot of heartache and a lot of hardship, especially because my ex-wife's parents, they spent like fucking $75,000 on this big extravagant wedding, because they gave us a choice. They said, we'll give you the money to buy a house, or we'll have a wedding, a really nice wedding. And basically that was the choice they said they gave us, but they went ahead and decided, because they were very involved in society and all of their rich friends that they had, it's like they all competed against one another, and like who we're going to invite to the wedding and how many people we're going to have, where we're going to have it. And since their kid, it's like a lot of their friends, their kids were getting married. And it's like they're all fucking trying to outdo each other. It was all Fort Lauderdale society bullshit. And it's like a year later, I ended up ending the marriage because I knew it wasn't right in my heart. And I was just young, and I was weak, and I was inexperienced. And that's what happens when you're young, is you tend to listen to everybody else, but never ever put anybody else's opinion above your own opinion. What you feel in your heart. If your heart's telling you don't do it, then don't fucking do it. Because if you go ahead and get married and you're not listening to your heart, you'll end up the same place I did. You'll end up getting a divorce a couple years later. And that's just simply not a good way to go. So grow a set of balls, stand up for yourself, and only get married when you feel in your heart of hearts that it's what you both want, and you've been dating for several years. Because it's only been 8 months. It's still too soon, in my opinion. So if you have a question or a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges, and you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, and I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get help is to book a paid phone coaching session. And you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box on the right-hand side, there'll be a box that will have a link to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get to the download page on Amazon, on the right-hand side, there'll be a button that you can click, and when you open, what it'll do is it'll open up a window, because you don't have to have a Kindle device to read my book. And on that window, you just simply download one of their free e-reader apps for your Android smartphone, your Android tablet, your iPhone or your iPad, your Mac, or your PC. It takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app, and after that, it only takes a few more seconds to complete the purchase of my book, and you'll be reading it in no time. And I will talk to you soon.